Hi, everybody. Are we back? Hello, everybody. Here we are. Are we here? Give me 1 second. I just need to do that. All right. I'm a little bit early. It says 9:57, and I'm not supposed to start until 10 o'clock. So if you are here with me early, we can do this together. It is December 24th in my corner of the world. Of course, there are other places where it is already December 25th. So this is the time of year when we just start wishing everybody everything all the time. And why not? Why not? And ho, 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 what have we got? Well, good morning, Billy. Good morning. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things today because it's a mistake we all make. And there is a recovery that we can all take. And I'm really glad that you joined me this morning, Billy, because Christmas is sometimes difficult. And it's difficult because, good morning, Warren. Good morning, Julie. Christmas is sometimes difficult, and I'm waving away the tears because it is special, because it is magical, and because we don't really realize how much we still invest, how much we still invest the little kid part of us in what our expectations are. We're still hoping for all the things we used to hope for. And when I saw this morning on my Facebook memories, I saw the picture of Santa and Mrs. from the kids show. I thought this is the perfect picture to put up to say, hey, I'm going to be coming live, because it's so. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, beauty. It's so exciting to be with people that you really love, to be in situations that really put a huge smile on your face, to really say, oh my God, remember the time we, and then laugh and laugh and laugh at something ridiculously stupid that we managed to get both feet fully into. And Kelly, Kelly was with me at an event where a whole bunch of really strange things happened. And we laughed and we smiled and we talked about it and we continue to talk about it periodically, that it was a moment in time for me to do a book launch called Unsuitable in a car dealership with drag queens as my security guards. Because why not, really? Why not? And Billy was there, and oh my God, we just had the best time ever. But periodically somebody would look around and just, you could see it in their face, you could see it in their eyes, couldn't you, Kelly? People were looking around and you could see them thinking, what the hell? And when I took Billy to see the location, he said, okay, there's so many great venues. Why a car dealership? And I said, well, the book is called Unsuitable. Seemed logical to me. And then his whole face, he went, well, of course, what was I thinking? I don't know, Billy. I don't know. Haven't you known me long enough? So what happened this year, just before Christmas, something that I was really excited about, looking forward to, amping up and ramping up almost nonstop for 2 months, suddenly came, hit a wall, fell over, and lay there. And when you're running and you're talking to the person you're running with, and then you suddenly realize that they're not there, and you look down and they're not even there, and you think, well, where the hell? And you see them heading in the other direction. You say, was it something I said? Was it something I didn't say? And this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the time we waste mostly asking, was it me? I want to talk about the beautiful, brilliant opportunity that is always before us, even if we can't see it, to claim the moment, to claim the element of surprise as a gift. The element of surprise, the Vikings invented the element of surprise. The biggest way they did it was they figured out how to sail a very large boat up a river and surprise the locals. They're still doing commercials about it. See the world differently. Get up close with iconic landmarks. Marketing 101. So when the ultimate disappointment, the ultimate surprise, the ultimate did not see it coming happens, it is our opportunity to say, okay, what this really is the introduction to our opposites. It's the introduction to, good morning, Matt. Good morning, Chris. Merry, merry, and happy, happy. You unforgettable, you, Chris. It is an opportunity when somebody drops the ball. It is the opportunity when somebody shifts gears. It is the opportunity when we have leaned in for something that doesn't emerge, doesn't happen. It is the opportunity we have to say, all right, what's on the other side? What is on the other side of this coin? What do I have that I wasn't seeing? The story that I have about, hello, opposite surprise, my dad took me sailing when I was a child because he was a Viking and that's what we do. And we're in the boat and he said, okay, there's two things you always have to remember. And I said, what are they? And he said, watch out for the boom and remember that the wind always shifts. Remember that the wind always shifts. He didn't say it like that. And he he didn't make it a point for me to pay attention to that. He just mentioned it. And then when he said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're in the boat. We need to get more wind in the sails. How we do that is we turn the boat in a direction that allows the wind to fill our sails. That is going to tilt the boat. What we have to do, what you have to do, sailor, yes, captain, what you have to do is you have to go and sit on the side of the boat. Pardon? Yeah, hold on to this rope. my father, hold on to this rope. Sit on the outside edge of the boat and put your feet up against something and lean out as far as you can. Why? He said, well, to counteract the wind. Okay, so the boat doesn't tip over. Right, got it. So there I am. And I'm all the way out. My legs are full length. I have long legs. My legs are full length. That my feet are not only on the edge of the boat, they're on the outside edge of the boat. So you picture the boat, it's going like this, and then you picture me on this side of the boat, and I am all the way out, horizontal, holding onto a rope. I'm like this. By the way, over my head, can you see sand? There you go. I said like this, right? Mm-hmm. And the wind stopped. Fortunately, I float. Glasses off. And my father said, for heaven's sakes, as he's pulling me into the boat, I told you to remember that the wind shifts. Yep. Yes, he did. Could you have given me more heads up? No, because the wind says, you know what? Oh, look, squirrel. Now, I could have been upset with him, except that I didn't have time because he said, okay, let's go. And he gave me something else to do. And he said, all right, here comes the wind. Let's do it. And he had me doing it again. And this time I was bending my knees. He said, no, you're all in. You have to be all in. I said, well, I was all out a minute ago. And he said, you have to be all in or stay home. All in. And sploosh. Helps me back in. And I said, why? There's something wrong with this? He said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the price we pay. It's the price we pay. Do you realize how fast we were going? Was that exciting? Was that exhilarating? Were we having the best time of our lives? Yeah? Okay. So you're wet. You know what? When we get home, you'll get dry. We'll change your clothes. Your mother will say, why is she wet? And we will tell her that we were chasing the wind. So that's the key. That's the thing. And I think on Christmas Eve, more appropriately was Gomer Pyle a Viking. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think Gomer Pyle was probably a recruit. The opportunity to realize on the eve of Christmas that the gift The gift isn't in the box. That's an outcome. You know, that's the candle that sparkles. And that's the, oh my gosh, where did you find it? That's the outcome. The gift at Christmas is when somebody like Warren and Julie, when they say, okay, you know what? We want to do something for you. We want to do something for you because you're doing something so magical for us. We want to give you something, some part of us that makes you know you didn't get kicked to the curb, that helps you see that one lost moment is just a lost moment. And every next moment is right here, ready to step in and fill its place. When I discover that things I thought would happen aren't, there is a distinct moment of shock. And I was reading something the other day. I'm always looking up stuff for Pivotry in Motion and for my conversations with clients. And this is a really short thing. I'm not going to read all of it. What they're talking about is trauma, kind of a weird thing on Christmas, but it's important because disappointment and surprise, on the funny side, shock and awe, but on the other side, if we really invested so much of us, the trauma of surprise can really hurt. And what it can say here is sometimes when we get a trauma experience when we're very young, think about this, very young or very dedicated or very focused, think about this. Our brain doesn't always know what to do with the information. When we get the sensation, when we get the message that something has gone horribly off the rails, if our brain is not paying attention, focused, facing the most appropriate way, here's what it says. It can sometimes be a response that looks like shame, that looks like blame, guilt, and it's not, right? It says the disappointment can leave us feeling worthless, like an outsider. And this can lead to the imposter syndrome, where we struggle to accept how valuable we are. Think about that. Think about that as a conversation gift for Christmas. If someone has disappointed us, if something has happened that appears to be a slap in the face, if we don't expect it, if we don't see it coming, if we don't know what to do with it, how to unpack it and where to put it, if it doesn't come with a label on it that helps us understand that it's not ours to own, if it's painful and we are somehow involved, if our brain is not able to figure out what to call it, one of the questions we ask ourselves is, what did I do? How, why, what could I have known when I fell out of the boat? So it's a quaint expression, ass over tea kettle. I didn't have time in the trajectory of the arc of my covenant, of the arc of my demise. I didn't have time to say, was this my fault? No, I had time to say, and shut my mouth because water. And this is so helpful in the moment of sudden what? We don't ask the tsunami, was it something I did? In the moment of the sudden attack, we don't ask the enemy that is charging us, was it something I said? Did you not like the beef? We say, dear God, and we turn and we leg it trippingly to the border. We close our mouths when we fall in the water. We brace for impact. We tuck and roll because this is our survival brain kicking in. We don't have time to think about anything. We don't. And in this moment, in this preparation for everybody's getting together, oh my God, we spent days and days in getting the place pretty. And I was grocery shopping the other day and I said to the cashier, you know, it's times like this when I see exactly how much I've spent. I'm thinking to myself, do I even like these people this much? Like, could we not just go out for a sandwich? And she burst out laughing. She said, oh my God. Oh my God. I think the same things. And I wouldn't trade it for a world because it's so exciting. It's so magical to plan things. It's so exciting to discuss how amazing it's going to be. And if somebody decides that they don't want to come, if somebody says, you know what, catch you later, if somebody just stays on the dock and you're in the boat, you're saying, come on, what are you doing? And they just stand there, or worse, they just walk away. It's logical to say, was it me? Did I do something? Where are you going? Why aren't you excited for this, for us? Why were you in an accident? Is there a problem? Can I what? No, they're just not that into us. It's not us. It's them. They got excited, and then said, on second thought, on the other hand, and wander off. And here we are. And we say to ourselves, well, it's too bad that I monogrammed that because who am I going to give it to? I don't know anybody else whose name is Cuthbert. When a very, very dear, fabulous, amazing college friend of mine was going away for, the getaway year after college, I had a big party for him, and we all got together, and everybody, because he is the most amazing guy. He's just a riot, and we all, as a collective group of misfits, went through all kinds of garbage together in college and funny things together in college. So when I was when I was kind of trying to think of a cake, and I'm certainly not going to make it. I went to the bakery and I had them I ordered a cake, and then I told them what I wanted on the cake, and they looked at me and they said, really? And I said, yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Wow, we've never had an order for a cake that says that. And I said, well, there you go, first time. So I picked it up. I took it out of the box and I looked at it and I thought, perfect. I put it back in, I brought it home. Had it all ready. Party happens, and everybody's there. And Tim is there. I say, okay, ready, time for cake. And as I'm walking in with it, it's still covered. I said, see, here, sweetie, I need to tell you, I kind of dropped the ball. I left the cake till the last minute. It wasn't that I forgot you, and it's not that I don't care. It's just that there was a lot of other stuff. And so I am really, really hoping that you're okay with what I was able to get, because this was all they had left. And some cake is better than no cake, right? He said, yeah. And I put it down and I pulled the thing off the top of it, and everybody looked at it, and he looked at me, because what it said on the cake was happy circumcision, Roger. We were, I don't know, another 15 or 20 minutes into the party, and he said to me, you had it done special. And I said, well, of course I did. Absolutely. Love you. And this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all shapes and sizes, my thing, as you get to know, once you know me, is that if we're not bringing the joy, why are we even here? If we're not going to get up and say, if I'm up to it here, there's got to be a pony in it with me. Where's the pony? When people drop the ball, when circumstances switch, when best laid plans turn into kumquats, there are two things we can do. And the reason I wanted to talk about them today is because this tactic is our gift to us. It's not why they said Never mind. It's not that the pieces didn't fit. It's not that no one cared. It's not that the technology decided to have a moment. It's not that there was a storm and now we have to bring the party inside. It's not the reversal that is the point. The reversal is the turning point. The reversal is the moment when we say, what if? The reversal is the springboard, the leverage that gives us that brilliant glimpse of bigger and better possibility. I had a reversal happen last week. Bigger than many, certainly not the biggest. Kind of a surprise, she said, being the understater of the year. Kind of unsettling. A whole lot confusing. And the temptation was to say, was it me? What did I do? And then to ask other people who know you, how could I, what? And the answer is sometimes it is our turning point. It is not an end point. What about all the effort? Exactly. What about all that effort? How brilliant. How brilliant. Because out of comes And what we find, what we come up with, what we scramble for, what we sit down and put our heads together with genius, brilliant, talented people is an outcome greater and so much more fun. Oh my God, a triumphant outcome out of a flat bleh. The triumphant outcome is spike the ball worthy and legend worry that goes on and down in history. Carol Hay and I have had spike the ball moments that we talk about periodically. We don't even have to say remember the time, because of course we remember the time. And we just look at each other and have our code words and say, and then we laugh and laugh and laugh and shake our heads, because it is the fabric of our lives. It is the threads that sparkle in the middle of the others. It is the high points, when we look at each other and say, we are a force to be reckoned with when we are together. See? And so when you have a reversal, when we have a reversal, when I have a reversal, good morning, Freddie. Oh, I'm so glad you came. When we have reversals, when things don't go as planned, when, for instance, everything seems to be fine and then suddenly someone is not okay, and all of our everyday routines are turned upside down, and Freddie knows what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden we have to set everything aside. And it's not a decision, well, how much? No, we set it aside. Because if a terrible reversal happens to someone we love, we're all in. And whatever that was, we'll come back. And the people who are waiting for that, we say, we're having a moment. I'll tell you all about it. Love you. Hope you hang on. And then we carry on. We all do this all the time. The military kid, I'll tell you something about the military kid. The military kid learns very early that standard celebrated moments may or may not happen the way they happen for others. Because in the military, things change in an instant. What the civilians don't realize is that things change in their instance too. It's just that they're not so big and so organized. And so we're not entirely sure that what we think happened has actually happened. Things change in an instant. And as my dad used to say, stay on the balls of your feet. Be ready to shift. Be ready to be the one leaning in and getting ahead of the curve. When you hang out in the boat, always keep in the back of your mind that the wind will shift. You don't hedge your bets. You lean out with all you have. But in the back of your mind, you need to have that readiness. My readiness is that I float. My readiness is that I'm not going to be surprised and scream and therefore swallow the lake. My readiness is close your mouth. Bob up. Thanks, Dad. And pull ourselves in. Christmas is almost upon us here in the western side of the world as we see it. Here in Canada, here in the US, here in South America. Christmas is almost upon us. In other parts of the world where our other loved ones are, it's already here. What we want to say to each other, to all of us, everywhere, every day at some point is a time to say, we made it. Thanks. Thanks. And feel gratitude every day. And if we do it every day, then when it's Christmas, it's not the first time. It's this time. So this time in this tiny office with Santa looking over my shoulder and mom, and Care Bears and my shoes and my signature jacket for the Unforgettables. This is my time to say, that was a heck of a year, wasn't it? And what a different Christmas it is. And how magical that all the people that I'm talking to, that I have been talking to, that we have been talking to each other in, on, at every episode, every message, every text, every call. Those are the gifts. The amazing conversations that I was having, am having, will be having with all the people involved in the Unforgettables, that's not going to stop. That's going to grow and shine and prosper. And if you haven't seen the incredible artwork, Matt Urquhart, we have this poster, this collectibles, little boy's dream bedroom of everything, every single toy, including Friend Bear, is captured in the poster. Is magic. It's absolute pure magic. I had forgotten that he'd done it. And then when my reversal of fortune happened last week, I thought, now what? And then the little voice said, hello, what about the poster? And when I reached out and I said, oh, Matt, please, yes. And he said, of course, absolutely. We have the best poster, the most unforgettable poster that we wouldn't have had if I hadn't had a reversal, if we hadn't had a reversal. The website is looking pretty slick. I've got Dave going in saying, oh God, I left her alone for a day. What has she done? And he's in there fixing it today. Whatever I did wrong. It's going to be amazing. And I'm fixing the Abby Haggard website. Finally. We're working on some way to make it look magical and, by the way, work. There's a plan. All of these things have happened because of a reversal. If we dwell on it's tragic, my life will never be the same. The only thing wrong with that is it's also amazing. It's also magic. It's also a gift, because from the ashes comes the shiny new thing. Always. So I'm just thinking about my childhood. From my childhood, I think it was 5. Feels more like 4. 4 or 5. 4 or 5 of my Christmases were not celebrated on the 24th, 25th, 26th of December. They were celebrated whenever my dad got back, before my dad had to leave. Why? So we could celebrate together. It's not the day. It's not the gift. It's the feeling. It's the love. It's the recognition. It's the connection. It's the engagement. It's the coming together. It's the conversation. It's the collaboration, the understanding that we are stronger together. Every single person who feels better, safer, taller, happier, being part of something, you are unforgettable. We are all unforgettable. We all belong together. Whether we want to celebrate an event, whether we want to talk about a problem, where we want to laugh at mom trying to give advice. I also realized yesterday, I was laughing. I thought, no, it would never stop. Eleanor Twigg was also a mother. We don't ever want to ask her for advice. My Lord. What we do want to do is we want to say to the people we love who love us back, you know you're loved, right? You know that it would not be the same without you, right? And you know how we can tell who those people are? Because they reach out to us and they say the same thing to us. They don't just give lip service. They don't just show up as they pass on through. They lean in. They lean in. They give away, give up, contribute something of substance of them to make us timeless and magical. Because I've got to tell you, I'm a personal friend of Fame. I wrote the book. I wrote Fame's memoir, and I can tell you something that's really quite extraordinary, and maybe that's why it's so magical. It's fleeting. Andy Warhol once said, eventually everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. He wasn't wrong, was he? In the overall big scheme of things, pretty much everything is 15 minutes. So the trajectory is exciting. It's incredible. Sparkles and flames and woohoo and applause. What's really important is when we're doing something crazy, mad, wonderful, and our eyes connect, and we grin that grin, because we can see in their eyes how they feel about us, and we know that they can see how we feel about them. And that is the magic. That is the essence of Christmas. That is the reason to say, start the car, start the sleigh, and no hedging. Go all in. Show up. People who don't show up, you know what? They're just not that into us. That's okay. We got a lot of people who are. And we see them all the time. All we have to do is close our eyes and think of them. And there they are. Doesn't matter whether they're here, or they're here. All we have to do is close our eyes and think of them. And there they are. Good morning, Daniel. What I want to say, I don't want to keep it too long because I know you guys are busy. It's a very, very crazy, hectic day. What I want to say today is it's perfectly okay to cherish. It's perfectly okay to want things, to lean into them, to be passionate about them, to believe 1,000 kabillion% that they're going to work out because we are putting in everything we got. It's not as much fun if we hold back. You have to feel the thrill of victory as you completely lean out in the boat. It's straight as a board hanging off the rope. You don't have to spend any time thinking, I wonder when the wind shifts. You don't need to wonder about it. It will. Pay attention to the moment. Feel the exhilaration. Know over here something will change, because change is. Be in the moment, live in the moment, own the moment, love the moment, share the moment. And when this moment is replaced by the next moment, already then, when there's a break between moments, when we have a rest moment, in the rest moment, we can pick up the phone, we can talk to somebody, we can say, what happened? What was that? And those two are part of the blooper reel outtakes. One of the things that is so crazy, fabulous, magical, wonderful about the Unforgettables and the VIP aspect of it is two parts that are incredible. One is that it's where all the blooper stuff happens. If you were at FanaticCon last summer, last summer, we had our crew in our booth was a pretty big, kind of tight fit. And then we brought in all the other people who kept coming and showing up to be part of it. And some of the crazy stuff that went on was hysterical. Somebody said, one of the visitors to the booth said, this is like being backstage. I once was backstage at a show, and it's crazy backstage. And she said, but your backstage is right out in front. And I said, that's the price of admission when you come to my show. You pay the money, you're in the show. You can see them, they can see you, and you can see exactly how it's made. She said, oh, best booth ever. And I said, well, thank you, darling. And we're going to keep doing that for our VIPs. Why have I created VIP subscriber stuff? What is that about? Just quickly, small commercial. Because, I get clients all the time, and they hire me to do the expert things that I do, whether I'm helping them develop the book that I'm going to publish for them because I have a publishing company. If they want to rebrand, then I walk them through how they can reinvent who they are without upsetting people. If they're talking about a relationship, a career path, things that have changed, coming back from grief and loss, those are heavy duty jobs. Those are client situations, and I'm on a retainer because these things don't fix overnight. So we work out a plan, and I'm with them. I have one client I am still in touch with in kind of a refresh, touch base phase. And we first began working together in 2019. She doesn't need the same kind of service that I once provided. It's totally different now. And she's still there because it makes a difference in her life and in mine. I have, oh my gosh, how long ago was my, I'm trying to think, 2006, and I'm still in touch with that client. And we check in from time to time. And now her husband has a project, and we are talking on a regular basis. So those are the more heavy duty clients. Those are the more expensive commitments on their part and mine. But for my VIP subscribers who may not currently be able to fork out that kind of money because of that kind of time investment, I said, let's do a subscription. And the subscription is $1 a day. You buy it by the year. If you buy it by the month, it's a little more expensive. If you buy it by the year, you save money. That's how it works. What I want that for is for people who need this, for people who are part of this. people who are missing the connections they used to have, and they simply don't have the resources to do it any other way. You are my VIPs. You are my special, special people, because no matter how hard it gets, you're showing up. No matter how challenging it is, you're right there. And you deserve recognition. We all deserve recognition. If we're in, that's everything. And you deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to be able to say, I'm just going to go quick backstage and give Abby a hug. You know, Abby, you can go backstage? Yeah, it's a thing. I'll be right back. I want that for people. That's why I came up with it. VIP subscribers. You are my diamonds forged under pressure. You are my diamond club. And you live in my heart. That's what it's all about. So I'm so excited. I've been excited about Pivotry in Motion, about the transformation we are making and are going to make together, about the resetting we are learning, about the now what if experience, and with the addition of the unforgettables as a concept. I think we're onto something. I think our boat is the best boat in the fleet. And I can't wait for us to pull away from the dock and see what's on the other side. So I will be back on the 26th with another video about how was your Christmas? And it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. It's going to be exciting. And I may have some news. And I think you'll like it when I share it. So between now and then, be good to you. Don't stress if anything goes off the rails, because this is your opportunity to say, all right, what can we invent? What can we salvage? What can we make amazing? That's what it's for. And when it's heartbreaking, when it hurts, when it makes you feel you may not be able to just handle this one more thing, you're not alone in feeling that way. We have all been there. Many of us are right there now. We're with you. Never forget that. We're with you. So be good to you this holiday stressful time. Remember to hug your loved ones. Even Aunt what's her name? And Uncle so-and-so. Because you know what? They're part of the fabric. Okay? I am so grateful to have you. I am so grateful that you give me this opportunity to do these videos. 317 blows me away. So until Thursday.